morning, dear students. Last time we were doing this one, comparative studies of the properties of metals and non-metals. On the basis of the properties of metals and non-metals, how they are different. So that's what we were doing. So last class we discussed about color. So on the basis of color, metals and non-metals are different. Metals have brilliant bright color and non-metals are dull. Non-metals are dull. Metals have this one bright color, and among metals also, two metals have different color. Generally all the metals have silver or grey color, but two metals, that is gold and copper, have different color. Gold has yellow color and copper has reddish brown color. That's what we did. Then after color we did is hardness. So metals are generally hard except sodium and potassium, which are very soft, and non-metals are soft except diamond, which is the hardest substance known. Then what we did is luster. Metals are lustrous, non-metals are non-lustrous except iodine and graphite, which are lustrous. Then comes malleability, the ability due to which a metal can be beaten into thin sheets. So metals are malleable, they can be beaten into thin sheets, and non-metals are non-malleable. Then we did some activity in order to show that metals are malleable and non-metals are non-malleable. So today we will be doing ductility. So you can see here, ductility, it is the property of a substance that allows it to be drawn into wires. So ductility is the property of a substance that allows the substance to be drawn into wires. So if the substance can be drawn into wires, then the substance is said to be ductile. The property is ductility and the substance is ductile. So those substance which can be drawn into wires is ductile, and the property is ductility. All metals are ductile except zinc, which is brittle. Zinc can neither be beaten into thin sheets nor can be drawn into wires. That means zinc is neither malleable nor ductile. So all metals except zinc are ductile. However, non-metals are non-ductile. Non-metals are non-ductile. Iodine, sulfur, all these non-metals cannot be drawn into wires. We have never heard of wire of iodine, wire of sulfur, never. Because whenever we start beating them into thin sheet, they break. Whenever we start drawing them into wire, then also they will break. They are brittle. Then conductivity. So what is conductivity? Before starting conductivity, let's go to a point. What is conduct? Conduct means to operate. Conduct means to operate. So in a bus, generally there is a conductor who looks for the smooth running of the bus. So conductor allows something to run, something to pass through, is a conductor. Substance that allows something to pass through them are conductor. So, but here in case of bus conductor, he doesn't allow something to pass through him, but he makes sure that the bus runs smoothly. That means he operates. So, but here in case of substance, those substances which allows electric current to pass through them are said to be conductors. Those substances which allows heat to pass through them are called conductors. Okay, then conductivity, that means the property of a substance that allows heat or electricity to pass through them is called conductivity. So what is conductivity? It is the property of a substance that allows a substance to conduct heat or electricity, that allows electric current or heat to pass through them is called conductivity. And those substances which have this property are said to be conductors. And again, conductivity is of two types, that can be electrical conductivity and that can be thermal conductivity. So first of all, let's talk about electrical conductivity. So what is electrical conductivity? Conductivity, we understood. What is conductivity? It is the property which allows heat or electric current to pass through them. Then what is electrical conductivity? It is the property that allows a substance. It is the property of a substance that allows electric current to pass through them. To pass through it is called electrical conductivity. If it allows electric current to pass through it is electrical conductivity. And the property of a substance that allows heat to pass through it is called thermal conductivity. Therm, T-H-E-R, and therm means heat. So thermal conductivity means conduction of heat, means allowing heat to pass through it. Okay, so electrical conductivity. What is electrical conductivity? The property of a substance that allows electrical current to pass through it is electrical conductivity. The property of a substance that allows heat to pass through it is called thermal conductivity. So metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. However, all non-metals except graphite are all poor conductors of heat and electricity. All metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. That is the reason why wires are made of copper, aluminium and all, because they are good conductors of electricity. That is the reason why all the utensils, cooking utensils are made up of metal, steel, stainless steel. The major portion of stainless steel is iron, which is a metal that conducts heat. And aluminium is also used in utensils. Copper is also used in utensils, which are all good conductors of heat. And then for electrical wires also we use metals because they are good conductor of electricity. So non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. That's why they can also be termed as insulators, that does not allow heat or electricity to pass through it, are insulators also. So they are poor conductors of heat and electricity, except graphite. Graphite is carbon, is a form of carbon which is good conductor of electricity. Graphite can conduct electricity, mind you. Except graphite, all non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Then sonority. So what is sonority? Yes, it is the property of a substance that allows it to produce sound. Allows it to produce sound when struck with a hard substance. It is the property of a substance that allows it to produce sound when struck with a hard substance. That is the reason why in school we keep iron or brass, bronze bell, so that whenever we hit it, it makes a clear sound. It makes a clear sound. So think of the situation when we are using bell made up of wooden bell. We have not seen wooden bell. We have not seen because they cannot produce clear sound. And carbon, graphite, sulfur, they cannot produce clear sound. They produce very dull sound. That's why bells are made up of metals. They can produce clear sound when they are struck with a hard substance. So the property that allows it to produce sound when struck with a hard substance is sonority. And the substance that possesses this property, the substance that has this property is called sonorous substance. Sonorous substance. All metals are sonorous. All metals are sonorous. And non-metals are non-sonorous. Non-metals are non-sonorous. They cannot produce clear sound when struck with a hard substance. So these are all the properties of metals and non-metals that we did in this comparative study. Now we will look over the difference between metals and non-metals on the basis of different properties. So physical state. Metals are solid at room temperature. Generally, all metals are solid at room temperature except mercury, which is liquid at room temperature. So, generally, all metals are solid at room temperature except mercury, which is liquid at room temperature. That means if someone asks you which is the liquid metal, then you can say mercury is liquid. Name the metal which is liquid at room temperature. It is nothing but mercury. Then non-metals are generally solids or gases. Generally, as a whole, non-metals are either solids or gases. Carbon is solid, iodine is solid, sulfur is solid, rest gases. So generally non-metals are gases or solids. But there is one exception. There is one liquid non-metal. And what is the name of that liquid non-metal? Bromine. So liquid metal, mercury. Liquid non-metal, bromine. And generally all metals are solid, but generally all non-metals are solids or gases. Okay. Now on the basis of hardness, metals are generally hard, except sodium and potassium, which can be cut with knife. They are very soft. And among non-metals, all non-metals are soft except diamond, which is very hard substance. Then comes malleability and ductility. Metals are malleable and ductile except zinc, which is brittle. Zinc is neither ductile nor malleable. Non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile. They are brittle. Then luster. Metals are lustrous or they have shiny appearance. Non-metals are non-lustrous. They do not have shiny appearance. If you break, the freshly cut portion will not shine. Then density. Metals have high density. They are heavy. Okay, they are heavy. Whenever you put them in water, it will sink. Then sodium and potassium, which have low density. Again, sodium and potassium have low density. They are the exception. Then non-metals have low density. They are lighter, except iodine. But again, iodine has high density. density. Iodine has high density. So which is the metal which has low density, sodium or potassium, and which is the non-metal which have high density, that is iodine. Then on the basis of melting and boiling points, metals have high melting and boiling point except sodium and potassium again, except sodium and potassium which have low melting points. Then non-metals have low melting and boiling points except graphite which has very high melting point. So all non-metals have low melting and boiling points except graphite which have very high melting point. So melting point of graphite is very high. So which is the non-metal which has high melting point, then you can say graphite. Which is the metal that has very low melting point, then you can say sodium and potassium. Then comes conductivity of heat. Metals are good conductors of heat except lead which is a poor conductor of heat and electricity. So lead, name the metal which is poor conductor of heat and electricity. Heat is lead. Lead is poor conductor of heat. Then electrical conductivity, all the metals are good conductors of electricity. So we name the metal which is poor conductor of heat, lead. And all non-metals are poor conductor of heat. All non-metals are poor conductor of heat. Okay, then non-metals are poor conductors of electricity except graphite which is a good conductor of electricity. Then sonority, metals are sonorous, they can produce clear sound, they can produce very nice sound when struck with hard substance. Non-metals are not sonorous. Then tensile strength means how much weight they can bear. Tolerance, weight tolerance is tensile strength. So metals are high tensile, have high tensile strength, that is they are tough and strong enough to bear a lot of strain. That is, they can bear a lot of strain. They can bear a lot of force, pressure. Non-metals have low tensile strain. Non-metals have low tensile strain. Okay, this much for today. Thank you.